a dime. Drop a dime. Anybody know the meaning of that expression? Drop a dime? Well, a dime is 10 cents. And to drop a dime is to inform on someone to the police. Ooh, dropped it down. Well, to inform on someone to the police is if you have certain knowledge that when the bank was robbed yesterday at 2 o'clock, you know who happened to rob the bank. There is a reward, 100,000 baht. So what most people would do, maybe, call the police and report that Mr. Smith is the bank robber. So where does drop a dime come in? Years ago, a payphone, where you had to put the coin in. The cost of the call in America years ago was 1 dime. So to make the call, you would have to put the dime in, and it would ding, ding. To drop a dime means to make a phone call. And what they mean by this phone call is to the police to report something that the police need to know. In other words, somebody, how did they catch him? Oh, somebody dropped a dime. Drop a dime. 10 cents. That's what a phone call used to cost in America in a pay phone. And that's where the expression to drop a dime, to tell on someone, comes from. Hence, since, wince, glance, enhance, glance, mince, pence. All the finishing the word each time. Since, to this point, before this point, since yesterday, or since last week, up till then, since. Since Tuesday. From that point on, since Tuesday, we've had some rain, okay, or whatever. Since Tuesday, since Wednesday, since last week. I've been here since August. Whoa. From that time to this time, since August. Any questions about these words? Remember the CE at the end. You can't say dan, you can't say chan. Take a chance. No. Chance, dance, France, glance, enhance, glance, mince, pence, since, and wince.
Sure, quarter is 25 cents.
What?
Quarter.
What is a quarter?
25
Quarter is, yeah, 25 cents, or pennies, or pence. 1/4 of the dollar. 4 quarters, a dollar. So we have a penny, dime, quarter. Oh, I forgot. Nickel. 5 cents. A nickel. A penny for your thoughts. Drop a dime.
What could you buy in America if you have a nickel?
If you have what?
A nickel. A nickel.
A nickel? Used to be able to buy a lot, but that's a good question. Maybe a piece of chewing gum, one. Years ago, a nickel would carry you a distance, but not anymore. Inflation has taken over, so that pennies, nickels, and dimes. Don't nickel and dime me. Nickels and dimes. These are, you don't buy much with a penny, a nickel, or a dime anymore. That's the way it is, but they still have, of course, pennies, nickels, and dimes. Any other questions about this? Okay. You drop a dime. cents. Okay. Well, we're getting more and more as the time goes by. By 11 o'clock, it should be standing room only. Yeah, was anybody else over there in the class? I guess we got everybody, right, from the other class? Okay. Aaron's not coming today. So we've got everybody from the other class. I guess everybody's over here. Okay. Late.
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 Early.
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 On time.
On time.
Today.
Today.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Very good. Late, early, on time, today, and tomorrow. Today, obviously, is right now. Today being Thursday, right? Don't surprise me, it is Thursday hour. Tomorrow, of course, will be Friday. Tomorrow. The plane is on time. It'll arrive as scheduled at 9 o'clock. Oh, or it may be a few minutes early, so you better go to the gate in case the plane is early. I don't think it'll be late past the time. It'll be on time or a few minutes early. These are words that you've probably seen many times, but remember the pronunciations. To finish the word early, late, on time, today, and tomorrow. Tomorrow. Any questions about those words? Tomorrow will be too late to ask the question.
Too late.
Too late. You have to be on time.
Too late.
Too late.
Too late. For Thai.
Too late. Too late for the Thai people to ask the question. Tomorrow. Okay. Yesterday.
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 This week.
This week.
This week.
This week.
Last week.
Last week.
Next week.
Next week.
Month.
Month.
Year.
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 Okay, yesterday was, what was yesterday?
Wednesday.
Whoa, good, good. Somebody's awake anyway, they figured out it was yesterday. This week is the current week, the 7 days that are happening right now.
Yes.
Last week was the previous week, 7 days. Next week will be the beginning of October. October starts next week, not last week or this week, but next week. And the new month, the 30-day period, will be October. The current month is September. And this year is 20,014? 2014 or 20,014, I forget.
2014.
2014. Very good, good.
Teacher, why next have age?
Age next week.
What?
Next.
Oh, I was waiting to see who was awake in the class. I was just seeing who was awake. Obviously, you're the only one. But any questions about yesterday, this week, pronunciation, last week, next week, month, and year? 12 months in 1 year. Yesterday. And of course, we've discussed tomorrow. Yesterday we had a sentence about some relatives and people in the family. And I want to make sure that we all understand who these people are. So this is generally a breakdown of the family of what it the terms that are used to describe different relatives in a person's family. Son,
Son.
son,
Son.
daughter,
Daughter.
daughter,
Daughter.
niece,
Niece.
niece,
Niece.
nephew,
Nephew.
nephew,
Nephew.
cousin,
Cousin.
cousin,
Cousin.
mother,
Mother.
father,
Father.
parents,
Parents.
grandparents,
Grandparents.
grandparents,
Grandparents.
family.
Family.
Well, the son
Son.
is the boy,
Boy.
and the daughter is the little girl. The niece. What is a niece? No, that's not a niece. What is a niece?
My sister daughter. My sister daughter.
My sister's daughter.
Yeah. And my sister daughter.
The niece is the sister, is the daughter of the sister, or the daughter of the brother. Niece, nephew,
Son of my sister.
the son of my sister or my brother. Yeah, nephew could be the son of the brother. That's my nephew. My cousin, relative. My son is a relative. My daughter is a relative. And my cousin is a relative. Related. Cousin would be the son or daughter of my aunt or uncle. My cousin. My cousin will be in Hong Kong next week. I'll go to see him. Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, he's coming in from New York. My cousin. He's the son of my aunt. He is my cousin. Cousin. I hope I don't have to explain who mommy is. Mommy, daddy, we know who they are. Mother, father. And they are our parents, grandparents. What would grandparents be?
Grandfather and grandmother.
Well, of course, grandfather and grandmother.
Yeah.
Who are, well, how did they get it?
My father's parents, mother,
Right. The parents of my mother and father are my grandparents.
Parents.
Parents. The parents, exactly. My parents' parents are here. Oh, your grandparents? Yes, my parents' parents. Very good. And the family, of course, is the whole group, family.
You miss uncle, aunts.
Sure, hey, we could stay here all day. Uncle, aunt,
Uncle and
And
sure.
is
Uncle, the brother of
aunt.
or the aunt, the sister, the aunt of my brother and sister would be the uncle and aunt of my children. The uncle and the aunt, cousin, nephew, niece, daughter, son, mother, father, parents, grandparents, and family.
Family.
Any other relatives we can think of? Pretty much it. Oh, of course, the family dog. I guess he would be part of it too. Can't forget him. Good old dog. Any questions about the relatives? The family? Pronunciation, cousin, nephew, niece, uncle, aunt, and how they're connected to the family. So that if you go back to the U.S. and have to explain what your family's like in Thailand, you'll be able to say.
Parents of grandparents,
Exactly.
great grandparents.
Sure. Great grandparents. Not too many of them around, but yeah. Great grandparents.
Family.
Great grandparents. Wow.
It's family.
Okay. Keep those in mind. You have to explain your family one day. You'll be able to do it in English. Okay, here we go. I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15, I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30. Wow. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure that I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting. I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15, I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30. Wow. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure that I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting. Go ahead.
I was worried that I would be
Late.
late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I
Arrived
at 9 a.m. I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30 a.m. I was on time. In fact,
Early.
early.
In fact, early.
I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, very good. I will check to make sure that I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting. Okay, go ahead.
I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15 a.m., I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30 a.m. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, very good. I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15, I was glad to hear the meeting was actually to be at 9:30. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure that I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting. Go ahead.
I was worried that I would be late for me 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15, I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30. I was on time, in fact early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, very good. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting. Go ahead.
I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:30, I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30. I was on time. In fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, very good. I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15, I was glad to hear the meeting was actually to be at 9:30. Whoa, early, wow. Go ahead.
I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15 a.m., I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30 a.m. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, very good. I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. Very good. Go ahead.
I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15 a.m., I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30 a.m. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, very good. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting. Okay.
I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15 a.m., I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30 a.m. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, very good. I will check. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure that I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting. When I arrive at 9:15. Go ahead.
I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15 a.m., I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30 a.m. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, very good. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting. Go ahead.
I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15 a.m., I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30 a.m. I was on time, in fact, earlier. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting. Okay, Mr. Red.
I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:30 a.m., I was glad to have that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30 a.m. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, for tomorrow's meeting. 9:15 a.m. I arrived at 9:15 a.m. I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30. Okay, go ahead.
I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15 a.m., I was glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30 a.m. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, very good. I was on time, in fact, early. I will check to make sure I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting. Okay.
I was worried that I would be late for my 9 a.m. meeting at the office today. When I arrived at 9:15
glad to hear that the meeting was actually to be at 9:30. It was all time, in fact early. I will check to make sure that I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.
Right, very good. I will check to make sure that I have the right time for tomorrow's meeting.